In this video, you will learn how to submit a prior authorization using a First Connections comprehensive data system. We will also discuss how a prior authorization is processed and how to monitor PA requests you submit. Recall from the client intake video that when the intake process is complete, the provider administrator and primary service coordinator for the provider receives an alert that they have been chosen to provide an evaluation. This is when the PA process should begin. To demonstrate the process, we will continue using our fictitious case and assume you are the primary service coordinator for provider A. To begin, open the case file, either from the alert message or the My Case Load panel. Let's maximize the case window so we can see more information. Several new options are now available in the case menu. Among them is prior authorizations. We need to submit a PA request for the developmental evaluation your organization was selected to provide, so we can click Add New. The prior authorization page displays. Let's take a closer look at the information on this page. In the Client section, you see basic information about the case, including the doctor's prescription or RX date. Below that is information pertaining to the provider, including the fiscal year, funding source, and balance. Note that if there are not sufficient funds to cover the cost of the evaluation and/or service, you will not be able to submit it. Below the Provider section is the Evaluation Request section. It contains information extracted from the client intake record. In our case, only the developmental evaluation was selected. If an evaluation request or service request following completion of an IFSP or review was not selected, it cannot be added here. If there were multiple requests, you could select which ones to submit for prior authorization. Notice the checkbox here to select or deselect a request. The start date and end dates are automatically populated. These dates can be modified if needed. However, the start date cannot be before the referral date. For developmental evaluation, we need to choose the number of units. Depending on the evaluation and/or service selected, you may need to enter a cost. For services, there is also a place to enter optional comments and/or descriptions. In this case, we will select a typical time frame of 2 hours. When we do so, the cost is automatically calculated based on the rate for this type of evaluation. Since the IFSP has not yet been completed, there are no services listed, so let's discuss the doctor's prescription section. A doctor's prescription must accompany the request. If it were already uploaded and attached to the case, we will see a link to the document and the RX date at the top. Since it is required, I will demonstrate how this is done. Assuming that the document is already scanned, we will simply enter the prescription date, click Browse, navigate to the document location, and then click Open. To complete the upload task, we need to click the Capture File for Upload button. Finally, we need to select the area for processing here. There is also a section where you can add notes here if desired. That's it. We're ready to save this information. But before we do, there's one more item to discuss. There are times when the cost of an evaluation or service may exceed guidelines. The application automatically checks the PA request for this and will require additional documentation if a guideline is exceeded. Let's see what happens when the request exceeds guidelines. I will select 4 units instead of 2 for the developmental evaluation, and then attempt to save the PA request. Notice the new section that displays. This area is for uploading a justification narrative or an additional justification. I'm going to change the unit back to 2 and then click Save. Notice the activity information at the bottom indicating the date submitted and the submitter. Also notice the information at the top indicating the request ID and request status. We have just completed a PA request. I'm going to go to the case overview page. Notice that the PA request now appears in the case menu in the View section with its current status and request ID number. When we clicked Save, the request was immediately routed to the PA unit for processing and appears on their dashboard. When it is picked up for processing, the PA unit will change the status to processing. Ultimately, the PA unit will approve or deny the request, and you will receive an alert when a determination is made. If approved, the alert will contain the PA number. The PA number will also appear in the case menu next to the PA and in the PA itself that can be viewed at any time. If the PA is denied, there will be information in the PA as to why it was denied. Using the First Connections Comprehensive Data System makes submitting a PA request quick and easy. That concludes this training video.